Good to go.
Back in my day, no, we don't have. Hey, listen, let's stop putting a hard deadline on them. Let's just.
Well, I got to do the clicker thing. So I got to get the okay of, all right, we're doing it, and then bang, and then.
I don't care if you put the clicker thing. If you click the clicker thing,
You got to do the clicker thing.
Yeah, right?
That's what we do.
Okay, we good?
We're good.
All right. Episode 82. Kole Price.
I thought it was 10.
No, take one. We went over that.
we should have said our fraternity issue, like our fraternity one. Fraternity episode. Yeah.
You want to do it over again?
Yeah,
I think you should do it
we
again.
should
Pre-game
do it
fraternity
again.
episode.
Fraternity episode. Pre-fraternity? No, because that would be like a.
we might get a take.
Well, you don't want to say pre-fraternity. You want to say fraternity episode, not pre-fraternity,
Yeah.
because it's not a pre-fraternity. It's a fraternity,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay.
The fraternity pre-episode.
Yeah.
No, let's just leave pre out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just make something up.
Okay. Episode 82. Kole Price. Fraternity episode.
Yes.
See?
Nice.
That's pretty good, right?
Nailed
Damn.
it.
Nice.
You killed that.
So getting better because we used to put the pressure on him to do that,
Yeah.
and you could see him running backwards in his own head, going no,
Yeah, just pulling back. Going,
no puedes hablar inglés, and he would just start speaking Spanish.
I feel like the ranch fuel made him come up
You
with
know
that
what?
yeah,
idea.
no, the
Since-
ranch fuel helped.
Yeah.
Since we've had Ranch Fuel as a sponsor, we've all been sharper. We've
Yeah.
all been sharper
Yeah.
on the deal.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. I think it brings a little clarity.
Yeah, absolutely.
It brings some energy for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it brings some zero sugar, natural
fuel.
caffeine, no artificial colors. I can't talk, and real cowboy energy.
And only 10 calories.
Like fuel. It's like fuel.
It's like Ranch Fuel.
Keeping that belly tight for the fraternity to drink it.
I don't know if I could really ever say that.
Wait, did I say belly? I meant shirt tight for the fraternity.
Keep that shirt tight. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not something I had to describe. You know what? The last episode we had here, these two assholes down here fat shamed me for quite a bit.
We did. We're sorry.
And I told them I wasn't
We're
coming
sorry.
back. This is a test to see if they truly are sorry.
Yeah,
Because
no, we're
I'm not
sorry.
coming
We
back.
shouldn't have done that. I
We got a little
apologize.
bit of hate mail.
We apologize.
You should have got hate mail.
We both got a little bit of hate mail.
Yeah, I hope y'all got death threats. To be honest
Hey, which
with you,
cheesecake did you like earlier?
the cookies and cream.
Yeah, cookies and cream.
The
was
cookies
pretty
and cream
good.
was to die for. I ate all of it.
Yeah, that's better than the other one.
Yeah. No, people love Gunny, and they're really we're hard on Joe and me.
Were they? Really?
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes, they were.
I was gonna
No.
say I didn't get that email.
Yes, they
No.
were. Listen,
good. Yeah, some
the
people don't
tens
really
of
love
viewers
you.
all emailed.
Tens of you.
I'm telling you, they're all from one guy. They're all they're from John's email account. He
Yeah.
emailed me from all the email accounts and said, "Man, those guys were kind of hard on you. I'm gonna be done watching the show if they
Oh,
do
no.
this again."
Really?
Yeah.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
We'll take it easy. So, hey, actually, you need to do your spiel.
Yeah.
Oh, we haven't even started yet.
Yeah. Oh, we started. We're in.
Yeah.
But
We
as
gotta-
always, we have Gunny Matheson, Joe Schmidt, and our special guest tonight, Southwest 2024 Southwest Reining Horse Association fraternity champion, Kole Price.
That's right.
Yeah, when we were thinking about who to call last minute to come shoot our show,
Cole, do it.
and we want to talk about, we wanted to talk about the fraternity. Well, who better to call than the guy that won the last fraternity? I mean, so,
Well, thanks for having me.
yeah. I mean,
It's always fun to be back.
you got to be excited to go to the fraternity,
Yeah.
showing a horse like that.
I'm very excited.
And that was the first time you showed it, right?
No, I showed him in Tulsa. Actually, Tulsa kind of made me decide that if I was going to have any luck in the end of the year, I needed to stay home from the Congress.
Congress,
Like,
that's right.
they were
That's right.
good, but there was just a couple like transitional spots that, like that's kind of stuff that I usually seem like I do a lot earlier, and I just feel like we were gone so much that I just never got to do it. Like I was still just training all the time. I never got to go, put myself in show situations at home. So I told Kelsey, I said, if I'm going to have any luck at the end of the year, I just need to stay home from the Congress. And showing that horse at the Southwest wasn't really my plan. But, once I decided I was going to stay home from the Congress, I was like, well, I can show it at a good pre-fraternity and get everything done what I needed to and run it good money and, benefit my horse by staying home. So that was my plan.
He looks good-minded. He looks like the transition stuff would actually be easy watching you show him. He looks very good-minded. He's a huge stopper. I mean, you should have nothing but confidence because it looks like he's a horse you can kick the whole time.
He is probably as solid-minded of a 3-year-old as I've ever had. Like, his mom was the same way, but like I think probably from me knowing a little bit more about how to prepare him, like he's very simple to ride. He's a type of horse that honestly you can probably, like right now I'm riding him 25, 30 minutes. Like you just kind of whip through stuff.
And what is he?
He is a Spook Scout Wiz. That is She Perfect. His She Perfect was the mare I was reserved
the
for.
gray mare.
Yep, the gray mare. And his brain is, I mean, he acts like an old horse. He's so kind, and I think probably with a little more experience, I recognize that maybe I don't need to go check everything every day. And he's learned how to just be super consistent and very confident. So yeah, I'm super excited. Type of horse that honestly you can give time off and pull him out of a stall and he feels exactly the same. So I think
good feeling.
that's a real good feeling going in the horse show.
What day do you go with him up there?
I am the 4th day and I'm 30 from the end.
So what are you doing right now? Because like the for me, always trying to figure out with those horses that draw later, even the horses that draw in the first day, you're either Tuesday or Friday, right?
Yeah.
So the week before, your normal schedule probably is to ride Monday through Friday, but now you got to figure out, do you give them a little bit of time off? Or?
Well, that horse, just knowing that like time off doesn't bother him at all. Yeah, absolutely. Like I'll probably give him tomorrow be a real, I take that back. I'm probably not gonna give him time off necessarily, but like my rides are only 25 minutes. So I'm not really using them. I mean, like the last 2 days, he hasn't even sweat. I don't want to let him get fresh, but I don't feel like I need to ride him that much. So like my plan is going to the Futurity, and it's kind of something I've had to think about, like, you know, our riding sessions there are 2 hours long. You know, you fence for or circle for an hour. So I've kind of got to be smart about not being out there for 2 hours because, I mean, I've never ridden them for that long. So probably where I'll probably try to maybe ride 2 horses at that session just so I can stay on track with that horse because, like I said, he don't need a lot of riding. I mean, knock on wood, he hasn't. And I think the worst thing I could do is change that right now. But I'll probably stay on him, but it's so late right now. Like tomorrow, I'm just going to circle him and take him.
Mine are getting tomorrow off.
Yeah.
My 3-year-olds are getting tomorrow off. The ones that I show Thursday and Friday are getting tomorrow off anyway because it's going to be Friday, and we're going to the horse show Saturday.
Yeah.
I know when we get up there, I'm going to have to ride them. So I don't know if that's smart or not.
No, I think it is. I mean, I'm debating what to not, but I'm a little bit. I've kind of been doing what Cole's done too. Is, I mean, I think both of my 3-year-olds the last 2 days I rode them 20 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, just
Mine
checking.
too.
And I think that's something that once I started teaching myself, and it's been very hard for me because I would say I'm probably more of a mechanical rider. So like I've always wanted to improve. Well, I think it's important that for me at least, I got to get my horses to where I can go knock them out in 25 minutes. You know, whether I got to do everything or not, maybe I just do 2 maneuvers here. But if I can keep my rides 25 to 30 minutes, typically things are going good. You know, you think about it, if it takes you 2 hours to ride your horse and you have 3 minutes to go hit every maneuver, your odds are probably pretty bad.
You're conditioning your horse to be ridden for 2
2
hours, not for 3 minutes.
I agree.
Yeah.
So, and I know that's a big part of Jason Laningham's program. And when I kind of
he rides them quick.
Yeah.
and his
Cole, can you move? Not to screw you up. Can you move this there? Perfect.
sorry,
Well,
trying to recruit me.
We had a thing.
They're trying to recruit me.
We had a thing going on. You want to steal some more of the camera thing or what?
well, it just felt weird him being so close to you. I don't know.
Did you get a hand signal that I didn't see?
Yeah.
Huh? Was there-
Get away from
She's like a third base coach over there.
you know what? I'm just not even going to show up next week. This is like a This is like a before the Futurity show and after the Futurity show.
And
When
after
Y'all are
Gunny
going to have to invite 2 guests.
the show.
Yeah. We'll see how the tens of viewers ratings go down after
right.
we all leave.
How are you going to enjoy
Crash
episode
and burn.
83 without me?
Yeah.
Viewers.
Yeah.
Eight
I'm
viewers.
taking the show. I'm rolling solo.
But I think I feel like the Futurity, the absolute best thing you can have on your horse is confidence. And at this point, I mean, if you're really training, you're probably not going to do that good, I don't think.
Yeah.
And it kind of is what it is. I think it's more or less about making it efficient, but confident is to me the name of the game. Going to the horse
But
show.
that being said, my girl also is showing one the first day. She's showing her one mare the first day, the first go round, and her mare is a lot of horse. She is ready to show yesterday as far as mentally prepared. Like she's ridden her not 20 minutes. It's been an hour-long ride to make sure we're finding less energy, less ambition from it, because this horse is way too ambitious.
Yeah.
So to me, that horse needs to get on the trailer ready to show.
Yeah, for sure.
And then she can get to Oklahoma City and have her 20, 30-minute ride to say, okay, I'm at the bottom here. Let me find a little more horse here, because when we get there, she's not going to get it out of her there. You know, so it's good. There's different horses.
For sure. And
Your gray horse looks like a horse that can be 20 minutes, and he's going to build everybody's confidence.
Yeah.
Hers is too much horse. It's got to be down.
So like the horse that I'm showing the first day, he's more horse, but I'm trying to keep my training session 20 minutes. That doesn't mean that I might need to put him in a hackamore and just go put my hand down and lope to get him tired. But the amount of intensity in the brain work, I want to keep it short because, like I said, I mean, you got one shot to do it. And I mean, I don't think they necessarily have to do it hard every time, but it just needs to be crisp.
Yeah.
And come in and, like, for me, I'm looking for them to, like, the moment I lope you off, I'm looking for you to hook up right away. And hopefully I can just get off your back. And, I mean, I think to me, the less riding you can do at the futurity, if possible, because you know how hard it is just to keep their legs as good as we can, you know, and I think that's important to keep in mind. So I've been trying to, probably since Tulsa, start thinking about how I can start teaching these horses for me to ride. My rides are shorter and shorter and shorter. And it seems like whenever I've decided to commit to making that, and you kind of quit worrying about every little thing and picking on them, it's like about 2 weeks later, man, they start riding good.
Yeah.
And then every ride is just a little bit improvement.
I got a question for everybody here, and I didn't realize it until 3 or 4 days ago. I went to the Congress, and I was so worried about those horses dealing with that environment that I spent a lot of time in the show pen. And I thought I was doing good. And in that moment, I think I still did do good. But I just got back from schooling in Ardmore. We rented the arena, and it was nighttime. So it's all lit up in there. It was a setting where you would think you would trick a horse a little bit. Schooled my horse outside in the big pen. Didn't show him the inside of that pen. Just went inside and ran pattern 12. And he was fantastic. He let me drive. He didn't look at anything. And he had never seen that pen. And at the end of the Congress, I think my horse was cheating that gate.
Because he'd been in there so much.
Because I had taken him in there so much because I had to prepare him in there.
Yeah.
So it's on my brain now not to over prepare my horse in the show pen in Oklahoma City.
I ride barn 6 all the time.
Yeah.
What was y'all? That's what I was going to ask. What's y'all's take on it?
Honestly, I think unless you have a spooky horse, then you got to get in the pen. But I think, and that might just be hanging out time. But I think if my horse is ready, I don't think the pen matters.
Yep.
And I think barn 6, there's times where the ground is different, but most of the time it's pretty close. Yeah. I mean, I do think you need to get in maybe the night before and feel the ground, but I mean, those pens are almost identical. If your horse is real, if the pen makes that much difference,
And the
I
thing
don't
is,
think you're going to win.
like you said, you go in and feel the ground. We all do that, but to me, that's more in our heads than anything because before we show,
You're
where do we
barn
stop
6.
them? You know, barn 6. Yeah. And it's not like there's been a lot of times at Ardmore, I showed them, like I got them ready the night before in the pen we showed in, and then warming up, I wouldn't stop them outside because it's so much faster. I just went with what I had the night before. Yeah. But we never do that at the futurity. We always go through all the paces.
I think we do so much at that horse show for us. And when you go, okay, am I doing it for the horse or am I doing it for you?
Yeah.
For me.
I think we do a lot of that at a lot of
At a
horse
lot of
shows
horse
that
shows.
mean a lot to
Yes,
us. We
right.
probably do it for us.
And I
We're
think
trying to cover all.
And
the
if you
bases.
just
Trust yourself.
go there to Ardmore, the quarter horse show, you just you mark a 74 like it's easy.
I mean, think about this. How many times before your paid warm up, right, you got your leg over the saddle horn talking to somebody? Oh, I got to go in. Oh, they school pretty good.
Yeah.
And before you go show, you've done an hour and a half of, getting everything out of this horse, and you wonder why he goes in there. Oh.
Well, it's a little bit different for me because I absolutely suck in paid warm-ups. My paid warm-ups are so bad usually, which for me is good because it's a kick in the ass. I go in a paid warm-up and nothing works, and then I go, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Now we got to get this shit put together before I actually, for me, that's where a paid warm-up comes in handy because I don't do enough, even though I tell myself I'm going to. I don't do enough. I don't get them ready like I'm getting them ready for the 2 or 3 days out.
Yeah.
And then they go in and, maybe they don't cheat anywhere, but they just don't fire. And then I'm like, and then I get them ready.
Do you guys school your horses at home? Like I try to do it on Saturdays. Like I go in my arena and jog around and then
Run patterns.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's amazing what shows up.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's necessarily maybe on an older horse.
I
but
won't run patterns, but I'll dang sure run pieces of pattern.
I try to run the pattern. And until I go, okay, like if I do it on Saturday, okay, this part was where it stopped. That's what I need to fix.
Yeah.
Kind of gives you a little bit of agenda, but it's amazing though how much that stuff shows up, especially if you do it fresh.
Yeah, and you don't spend an hour getting them ready. It's
Or you
that
don't
20
sit
minutes.
there and lope off like this when you put your hand down and go,
Yep.
man, I can't do a lead departure.
Yeah.
Well, maybe that horse really wasn't doing that bad. Maybe we just didn't practice in that situation.
But that's what we found out from other people being on the show that we've talked to is, 10 years ago, 15, you didn't even run pieces of a pattern because you didn't want them thinking about it. And now we find more and more people that are, they go run patterns. We run patterns. We do. I want to walk in there comfortable that I can put everything together.
I think it's important to know too, like I try to do it really fresh. If I can do it in this situation with no preparation, maybe I don't love it, but is it still half?
Right.
I know I can do it when I prepare for it.
Right.
So to me, that's more of a mental thing for me, but I think the horse needs to be able to do it when it gets a little out of whack.
I almost want to say horse training has evolved in ebbs and flows where they ran patterns and then it was a sin to run patterns and now you're running patterns because they ran patterns and then you figure out how to get them broken. Why they cheat through the middle is because you do this too much. Well, then you never change leads in through the middle.
Yeah.
You can only counter canter through the middle. You can't absolutely. And
then we start overschooling them.
over-schooling them to where they're not broke to just go run a pattern. So I think
it's amazing. Like you watch a Western rider, how many times do they change leads in a ride?
Yeah.
100. And pretty soon they quit anticipating because they quit worrying about it.
Yeah.
And I do think there's a lot to that.
And that never happened before. And I remember one time when Boomernick came on the scene and another trainer said to me, they said, you know what? I was watching Brett Stone school that horse the other night. He changed 20 leads at least. And I said, yeah, but he changed his leads pretty good, doesn't he? That's what we didn't do before. We were more, pick them and stick them going across the middle and everything. And those horses didn't last. They lasted for a year. They lasted for 10 runs. And in that year, we used to have maybe 6 runs in that year. We'd show them at a pre-futurity. That was one go around, maybe another one that was one go around, then go to the futurity. Maybe had 5 runs on them, and that's it. And not that we show them that much more now, but now as 4-year-olds, we go a lot. There's a lot of runs, and we see 6, 7, 8-year-olds that are still capable, not as often as when they were younger, but we still see 6, 7, 8-year-olds go out every once in a while and just have a run.
You go watch ancillary pen, and man, you see some of these horses, and they don't flick an ear. They look like robots. But the thing is, like, yes, there's discipline, but there's no worry there. That's where I see like anticipation comes from worry. I if you're a second baseman, you couldn't feel the ball. you're praying to God they don't hit it to you. But if you get pretty good at fielding the ball, you're like, hit it to me.
Yeah.
I
You know what I
think
mean? You quit worrying about it.
I think no matter what you teach a horse, if you over teach them the correct thing, they're going to learn to do the wrong thing too, because you're overthinking it, you're overdoing it, so
I don't necessarily agree with that. I feel like where anticipation comes is if your correction is not fair. If they make a mistake and your correction is not relative to the mistake, either technically or the amount of correction you do, then I think you get in trouble. But if you just change leads a bunch of times and it's smooth and it's easy and they miss one and you just go, okay,
Go do it again.
let's go do it again.
yeah,
Let's
but
make a big deal.
to my point, you're also not changing leads in a manner that they're worried about it. You're not overdoing it. You're just doing a lot of them.
Correct.
But it's not a big deal.
Right.
So
I think for the lead
that's kinda
change,
what I was
yes, it
saying.
has to be correct, but it also has to be a transition. When it breaks it down, I mean, that's like this was the reason I didn't show my horses one-handed in Tulsa, because I hadn't gone through, like, there wasn't a great group of lead changers that I had, and I was at the stage where I could do it clean, but it wasn't like I could just go through center and go and change. So that's why I showed my two-handed, and that's what I felt like I need to stay home from the Congress, and if they mess up, it's okay. We'll just go do it again. There's about 3 weeks where it's like, man, not a big deal. Just go practice it until they quit worrying about it. But there's also, you're going to go through the anticipation part. So that is kind of why I decided to stay home from the Congress. But I love changing leads, but I think sometimes it's like I used to get them where they were so good at it, but they would stay on the straight line, not go into the circle. I mean, they still got to go that direction a little bit. It's got to be useful.
Yeah, don't make it too mechanical.
And then you don't got to mess with it that much.
Did you guys try to rent Ardmore after the Southwest and go school?
Yeah, we went
did.
Friday.
Yeah. Did you?
I go over Sterling Ranch
okay.
Saturday mornings and pull mine off the trailer and go do that. Or I do it at home.
Well, I mean, you said you're not good at doing the paid warm-ups. I mean, the only reason that I did it was to go prepare my horse for 15 minutes in a strange place and take him in the show pen and see if I could pull it off with a minimal amount of preparation. I did it for me. I did it as a confidence booster. And it's not exactly what I'm going to do when I show, but that horse told me I don't have to do much. My horses told me they're ready to show. I don't have to do much, so relax. And that helps me build. I did it for me, not really for the horse. They're ready. They're pro.
So I'll tell you the probably one of the greatest lessons I learned from Finals Bound. That horse to me was one of the most fun horses to circle. I mean, he'd slow down so good. When I took him to that Congress, he just wasn't there. I mean, ears were up. I asked him to slow down. He just kind of bowed his neck and didn't really slow down. And it really irritated me. And kind of where you start second guessing yourself. So that Monday, I got home, and it was cool like it is in the mornings. And I made myself jog him around for 10 minutes and not touch his face once. Walk center, loped him off, and in 2 strides, I was running. And I ran 2 circles, and I mean, he was halfway bucking and shaking, just fresh. Asked him to slow down, nobody home. And I went, there's my problem right there. And I didn't beat him up. I just fixed him, did it again. It took me 3 times. And it wasn't good, but it wasn't like the 3rd time it was accomplished. Next day, jogged him around 10 minutes, didn't touch him. It took me 2 tries. 3rd day, jogged him around, and he was still shaking his head, and it was so hard to not fix him.
But he went fast and slow.
He went fast, and he slowed down. And I started making myself, the next day I trained on it, checked it again Friday, and I started making myself come out, no preparation, just enough to warm him up so he didn't get hurt, and go do it, and do it hard. And like, do not fix it right away. Let it be wrong. And I mean, after I did it the 2nd time, I was like, well, duh, if he can't do it fresh, what's going to happen when I show? So that was the rule, that I have to do that kind of stuff for my mind. And if I'm not at that point, to be honest with you, I'm not going to beat you.
I try to think about it that way a lot. I try to leave myself room. And you're leaving yourself room by preparing them like that. You're able to get it done with no prep. Well, imagine if you don't like this, or imagine if you don't you don't have a right lead stop the night before, and you have to work on that. You don't get to check your circles. Well, they're going to bail you out because you've trained it to bail you out.
I know when my horses are ready. Like it's like Gonna Stop when I went to the Run for a Million. I knew that he was going to be good. I didn't know I was going to win it, but I knew he was going to be good. Like I knew Golden Coins was going to be good in Vegas. Like, but I was doing that kind of stuff mentally to prepare him. And to me, when you can come out almost cold turkey and go challenge them, you're bubbly. To me, when you can do it cold turkey in a bad position when they're not right,
Yeah.
I know I can prepare it.
Yeah, I like
And
it.
make it better. But it is hard to not fix them, to not, when they shake their head, to not go like that. And he was fresh, and it was.
And going back to something you said earlier about you showing your horses two-handed at Tulsa, I think that's where I see a lot of guys get in trouble because they're going to be macho. They're going to go show them one-handed. By God, I'm a horse trainer. I'm going to go show them one-handed. And you sit there in the stands and watch horse after horse that, okay, they got to jam them through the middle or they got to jam them out of a rollback. Well, you can just give them such a better trip with two hands. Like I would say 99% of the time, I show mine two-handed the first time just so I can help them.
So like Tulsa for me, I was not planning on beating anybody. I know that sounds kind of bad to enter that way. I wanted to go have a good run, get in the money, but more of a confidence builder.
You're going there to build your horse for November.
For sure.
Yeah.
I was not gonna. I wanted to be clean and make it a good experience. The last thing, like my horses, they were just a little green going through center. The worst thing I want to do is go through it and drag them and have to stab them.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'd rather just go cute. Yeah, I want to be in the money, but I'd rather win later on. So that was kind of a building deal.
It's funny that he brings up Tulsa in that because I brought Snapped on the Bases to Tulsa his 3-year-old year, rode him around one-handed, and he was so broke and so good. And I just had one little shaky start to one turn one-handed, and I was going to fix it. And I talked that thing into not turning around both ways, one-handed.
Both ways.
Both ways. I had him fretting it, worried about it, because I had worked on it, because I was going to fix it. I ended up showing him two-handed. And my left start to my turn was atrocious, but I still ended up getting him turned good enough to win. But it's funny that you brought that up, because I've lived it. I've done it.
Yeah.
It is amazing to watch the night before the Open Futurity Finals. How many people can take 2 years of training off a horse in one ride?
Well, yeah, right.
It's like it is with it's just confidence. You know, if you got a plus quarter, take your plus quarter.
Just leave it.
But let it be confident. Let it know you can do it. You don't need to. That one isn't going to magically show up tonight.
Yeah. You've never won to stop.
You might have
before.
a 1. You might have it at a 1, a -1 when you're done.
Yeah.
Just I remember the year I showed the gray mare. I also showed Chick. I had 3 in the finals that year, and I think I drew up first or second on Chick's Dig It, and me and Kelsey on him, and that thing was a badass circler. And I was going to circle 1.5 on him, and he broke gate, popped out lead, and I was like, "You dumbass, just go mark your 220 and get your check."
Yeah. Right.
Like it was just like, what are you doing? Like they want to mark you a 220, take that. It went top 10 or top 12. Who would won $20,000? Like.
But you were trying to be first, second, and third, right?
Yeah, and it's like those runs where you think you're gonna pull something out and really try to win it.
Oh yeah,
I did the exact same thing.
Yeah,
it's the one where you're just trying to be clean and go pick
Good
up your
run.
halves, and all of a sudden, well, that was a 1, that was 1, and now you're a 23, 24.
Yep.
A lot of times that's pretty close to winning it.
Well, when Cade was first and second in the Futurity that one year, he was fretting how he was going to approach it, and I said, "Listen, speaking from experience, from somebody that has done it the wrong way every time, I said, you ride that horse how he tells you to ride it today. Don't step it up. Don't prepare him because you want to win. Ride the horse for what he is today. Let winning take care of itself. Let what he's going to score take care of itself. Don't worry about it." And if I could just go back and listen to, if I could record that and play it for my dumbass self before I show, I'd probably be better off, but I can't.
And it's hard to stay out of that trap because I did the same thing. I feel
you're a competitor.
Yeah.
In any other sport, you can try more and get more.
Yeah.
I don't feel like, I mean, there's difference. You can't just pony load, but
Right.
I mean, let's be honest. Those in the finals when they're wanting to mark you, if you mark if you put them at a big half of them are going to carry you to 1, and all of a sudden you're at 23, 24. That's
Yeah.
going to be right there winning it.
It's going to be right there. And I feel like my strong suit showing is staying out of trouble. I feel like I probably have as few penalty points as anybody. I can stay out of trouble. At the Congress, I am getting through it good. I went half-half. I'm half in my right circles, but I'm not hearing anybody cheer except Mandy. And yeah, it's not really different.
Oh, wow.
It's not really different.
Ouch.
But that was
But
me.
for some reason, it
Thanks.
got to his psyche in this moment.
In this
in this moment, it did because, and you know, it was just not smart on my part because if you're not from Ohio, they don't cheer for anybody.
No.
Right.
It's silent
If you're
in
not
there.
Florida or Brandon Brandt.
Yeah. If you gotta
They
be
cheer.
Sean or Brad.
They cheer for me. Thank you, Ohio. I heard you loud and clear. Appreciate you. Draw 1. Lots of cheers.
Yeah. So, but I'm low, and I tried to make too big of a move, slowing down. I was going to go, okay, I got to do more. I got to do more. I didn't have to do more. I was just doing what that mare could do, and then I stepped out of lead, and then it's over because I'm an idiot, you know. And it just pisses you right the frick off. I mean, you're just like, what?
What
Because
was I
that's
doing?
because that's not what I do.
You were
I
you were
usually
trying
stay
to do
within-
more. You got in your own head.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, lose focus for
Yep.
just a second.
It's amazing how, like you said, preparing how much we get in our own way.
Yeah.
I remember when the second go round was the run in pattern up and down the middle, how mind boggled it used to have everybody, how mind boggled it had me. The best I ever did was up and down that pattern was in 2010. It was one of the last years they had it. 3 weeks before that, I showed 12 horses in Mexico. 9 of the horses that I showed were up and down the middle.
Yeah.
And I remember being in that chute, being all nervous, going, Gun, why are you so nervous? You just did a whole bunch of horses in Mexico you never rode before.
Yeah.
And you got through the pattern. This is one you've actually trained.
Yeah.
Took a deep breath. Everything slowed down for me. I marked a 22. Like, trying to get in my own head and get out of the way. I got out of the way just in time, but
And you know, they flipped around on that pattern. They used to run that pattern in the first go.
First go.
Yeah.
And then, so it's been in the first go, some the second go, some. I always did better on that pattern in the second go because I never practiced it. That pattern always screwed me in the first go.
When you
because
practice.
for 2 weeks out, you're running up and down the middle,
Yeah.
and you got those things just like, yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, it was always better for me when it was the second go. Never practiced it one time. Just bam, bam, bam.
I think them horses are quite a bit like us. I mean, we can worry about it and train them to overthink it just
yeah,
like
for
we
sure.
overthink
Yeah.
it.
For sure.
And then where's the fine line of having your horse completely ready to go and having the competitive fire in yourself put out but not cooked?
I think for me, the one thing that I've had to learn is to, like you said, to not over prepare. You know, have them confident and ready. But I think when I start over preparing, then you start picking on stuff that is not going to change your score.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Correct.
Yeah, maybe their head's a little this way and you want to fix it. Well, even though you fixed it, it didn't change nothing.
No.
Yeah.
And he liked doing it that way.
And he's probably still going to tip his head
Yes,
that way
he
in
is.
that moment.
It is.
Yeah.
I mean,
And you
Not
want
going
to
to give you another half. A
no,
point.
it's not going to change. It's if to me, like I think the last 3 months, I think you have to keep obviously improving your horse, but I think you have to go, you know what, this horse circles comfortably this way or whatever. I don't love it, but it's not going to change. You know, if I tear this apart, it's not going to make it another point better.
And you guys are all judges, but there's a lot of. Oh, you're a new judge.
Yeah. Congratulations, man.
Thanks. Oh yeah.
Way to go. Hey, we both passed.
Yeah.
There's a lot of ways to get to the end point. You know, some guys circle and when they slow down, they leave their hand right on their neck. Some guys pick them up every time they slow down. Some guys run and stop and try to leave their hand on their neck. Some guys, you know, they lift
sure.
their hand up and they still guys that win the Futurity. do that. There's different ways to get there. It doesn't always have to be. It's still reining. I mean, it doesn't have to be put your hand in the middle of their neck and leave it there the whole run. It's great if you can do it, but it's still, to me, if you move your hand and they respond, it's
For
one
sure.
thing if you get to the middle to slow down, you pick their hand up and they waller against your hand up. But if you pick your
As
hand
long
up,
as they
then
don't
they're-
resist.
Yes, exactly. I think there's
willingly guided.
Willingly
Yeah.
guided.
yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of a fun time to go take the judges test, just so you've seen how many ways you can get a plus half.
Right.
And realistically, a plus half maneuver should look easy. I mean, I think that is, you take a plus quarter maneuver that looks confident and simple, your brain's already gone, I'm a plus half that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think a plus half maneuver has to be wow.
Yeah.
You got to have obviously level of difficulty, but it needs to be correct and crisp, and they're going to want to half it.
Especially at the Futurity,
For
in the midst
sure.
of 350 horses, of which 200 of them are not going to be very good.
Stay clean and let everybody else mess up.
Exactly.
So 2018, I made 3 in the Open Futurity Finals. My goal that Futurity was to stay out of the penalty box, and I did into the last run, and I had a half-point underspin on my gray mare, and it cost me the Futurity. But like some of them runs, looking back at it, they weren't wow runs, but when you individually mark it, you go 19 and a half, 20. Well, that's going to make the finals.
Yeah.
Then I got crazy.
Last year, I showed 7 times at the Futurity, including ancillary class, and 1 Futurity horse, and I had no penalties. It was a very, it was my own accomplishment, and
It's hard
but
to
it
do.
felt good, man.
Yeah.
It felt good. Not even a turn penalty. It felt good.
It's hard.
That's
to do.
hard to do.
Yeah.
I mean, running's difficult.
Yeah, it is.
I mean,
It-
we say it's easy, and you say a plus half's easy. A plus half is easy on a good reining horse that's
For sure.
confident in what it's doing. A plus half is very difficult to do if you're second guessing or that horse is second guessing
For
something.
sure.
If it's checking out here
but
and there,
you just said it. Confident.
confident.
Confident. That is the number one thing of Futurity. And like, I mean, even if it confidently does it the way it wants and you hate it, it is still efficient.
What about, I mean, not to change subject on, but we're going to talk about the Futurity. What about top horses you guys have seen this year? I mean, picks to win. Who you think's going to, like,
Cade's buckskin horse. I like that one. Knock on wood.
Well, I would say
so
I like that one.
you said that one first, but I
Yeah.
think 90% of people across the country would say Mirko
Mirko's.
Medilli's yellow
Oh
horse
yes,
first.
yes, that one. Yeah.
I mean,
The
his
only
horse
thing-
I only
looks
saw him on-
phenomenal
Yeah.
in Tulsa.
The
only
only
saw him on
thing for
video.
me, which I agree, that thing looked like a man. He looked
He
like
looked-
a derby horse.
They marked him at 227, and they wouldn't have been wrong if they'd have marked him at
No,
247.
it was every part of it was legit, and it looked like a derby horse. The only part would be a little hard for me, which I love to show that horse. That was how many months ago? You know what I mean? There's a big time. I think there's a little sitting time where, hopefully you don't get overthinking it. I know Mirko's incredible, so I think you'll have him ready, but I mean, that
No,
was.
we don't need to talk about the what ifs. I think that horse
well, I
is-
think you go with
That,
we've
there's
had 3
those two horses to me right there.
I think yes. I think that horse. I think Cade's horse is phenomenal. He won the Congress, and in my opinion, and if you ask Cade, he wasn't on 100% A game.
Yeah.
He had his B string circling
Yeah.
at the Congress. That horse can circle easier than that.
Well, I think I would say that he circled him with December in mind.
Yes,
He wasn't trying to circle him having that be his last run.
correct.
I think I don't think the horse circled poorly. I think Cage showed him okay,
Like he
this
was- yeah.
is just another Futurity on the way.
Yeah,
Where he was at
for
right
sure.
there.
Yeah, and I think you would go with the big 3 to me is Tulsa, the Congress, and the Southwest. I mean, those are the 3 hardest. Am I wrong? Those are the 3 hardest Futurities to win, right?
Yeah.
I mean, so I think you got to go with those 3 as being, 3 of the favorites.
So you're going with Mirko, Cade, and
Cole's
Cole.
horse.
There's a couple horses in there. There's one horse for sure.
Your Walla Colt horse can do it.
Yeah, I'm not good enough.
Oh, come on, Gunny.
Drink
No.
another.
Oh,
That's
You are good enough,
shit.
Gunny.
And gosh dog it, people
You
like,
like
me. No. So I'll,
You know what?
This horse,
Glad you think that way.
the
Not
horse,
as a friend, I'm gonna kick your ass though.
the horse
you
that
are.
I'm thinking about, he hasn't gotten him showed yet, but Fernando's
Yeah.
Bay Big Star looks phenomenal. It looks phenomenal. And he's been close and had some penalties here and there, but it looks ultra dynamic. Stopping, unbelievable turning. And there was one other one that I was thinking of that I can't remember right now. Gosh dog it, it's just getting by me. Trevor Dare.
Yeah.
the black bay
The
horse.
one he was second at the Congress on. He run that horse around there, and that thing,
That looks like a show. That looks
That
like a
thing-
fun one to get on and go show.
that thing, he put pressure on it, and it didn't say, this is too much. It was like, okay, yep, okay, yep, okay.
Yeah.
So-
that looked good.
How about this for a question? Would you bet on the guy in those 4 scenarios more than the horse, or would you bet on the horse?
Well, it's funny you just said that. I was just thinking about this. Like, I think to me, Mirko's horse is just incredible.
Yeah.
I think Mirko's incredible. But I know how good Kate is. You're shaking your head, Mandy.
And we're,
So, but
Well, I knocked on
Well,
and
wood.
we're talking about confidence.
Well,
Mirko
that-
probably is not going to have the confidence that Kate's had. Kate's done it before.
Yeah.
well, that's what I'm saying. And Cade's been in that situation a lot, and he knows how. He
Even
knows,
as young as he is, been
he
in that
knows
situation.
the
Trevor
experience.
Dare's been in that
Yeah.
situation a lot.
Yeah, but you guys, I'm talking as his dad, but you guys all know him very well. The moment never
He's
gets
ice
him.
cold, baby.
Yeah.
He is ice cold.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that makes a difference.
But in the moment when he's talking to me, like before the finals, he's not ice cold, buddy.
Yeah, no, he's like, man, I hate this part.
yeah, right,
He's a-
for sure.
Just
But
like
it's
us.
like that. It's always
Just
like,
like
that.
us.
Yeah, we're all like that. Nobody likes any part of that except for when you walk down the chute and then that gets better. But
He's nervous today.
yeah,
Yeah.
of course,
Really?
Today he said he was nervous.
of course. I mean, I think
that
that's part of
surprises
it.
me.
No,
I don't see him being a nervous.
Yeah, so I mean, in that situation, do you bet on the Haas or do you bet on the guy? And
Yeah.
who knows how many fraternities have we gone to where the best horse we thought wasn't even close, didn't make the finals, did something, or somebody else's horse stepped up?
I think. First of all, you got to get there.
Yeah, it's difficult to get there.
we've seen the best horse not make the finals before, just through a
Stumble.
bobble, a stumble, a this or that. Yeah, I mean
Roll
anything.
back and a back up. That's right.
Like a guy,
let's have
like
judges.
I mean, not to put a sore subject on it, but a guy that showed a real pretty spook's got a gun running and stop
Oh, yeah.
a +1.5 and back up lightning
Whoop.
fast, and
And
just
roll back,
roll right back.
lightning
Huh?
fast.
I mean, probably would have won the go round.
yeah.
Definitely a contender for the fraternity. We seen that. You meet that guy yet?
I seen him at judges school.
Yeah. Yeah. Poor
Slow
poor
motion.
Cole at judges school.
Slow
He was on the tapes like 6 times on what not to
It's
do.
like
Dude, after Cade showed Pee Wee and he fell down in the second go round, they showed that in the judges' school. Hey, let's watch it again. Come on, guys, let's
Yeah.
not watch it. Why are you guys doing this to me? Why are you rubbing it in?
I mean, I'm a big believer in you make your own luck, but the fraternity, there's got to be a little luck involved.
There's a ton of
Oh
them.
man.
It's difficult.
just to
ton of
get there.
Outside of, let's say you don't forget about all the things that can go wrong in the show.
Just
plan.
getting to the horse show.
Yes. Yeah. Let's keep them getting to the horse show and keeping them feeling their best.
Yes.
And there's so much momentum to me through the fraternity. Very rarely does one ever win the Saturday night that didn't get some attention through the go rounds.
Yeah.
Very rarely. I mean, it takes a little bit of momentum and a little bit of everything
Little
going
push.
the right way all week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think,
Horse show karma.
yeah,
So, What's your guys' thought process on? Obviously, you got a show. Both goes pretty hard, but do you guys think is your goal to show harder at first go, then be able to back off second go, or just kind of slowly keep stepping up?
I just go show my horse.
Yeah.
I don't go show hard. I don't go show soft. I just go show my horse and take what he gives.
Zero my right turn and try to survive the rest.
I like to show hard the first go.
Me too. I think if you catch those judges'
Todd,
attentions,
Todd Summers does too.
and I think if you got a little bit of wiggle room,
Yep.
you
I sleep
You can relax a little bit. But
I sleep
but
way
I also
better.
think if you catch those judges' attention right away, I think it does help.
Yeah. And I think you sleep better if I do.
Yeah, right.
Gunny, go show
Yeah,
your horse.
don't just
listen
show
to
your
Bill
horse.
Masses.
Momentum.
If you mark a 22 in the first go around, I got to come back and mark a 16.
You have,
I sleep way better
For
than
sure.
if I mark a 16 or 17 and have to come back
You
and
got
mark a
momentum.
22.
You're
Just mark.
I mean, it's
Gun. Just mark.
yeah.
it.
If you mark a
just
16, but a 17,
I think that first go, you better be ready.
yeah,
just
I
mark
agree.
a 22. Just showing your horse. Don't
Yep.
do it by showing your horse hard.
Yeah.
Just go show your
Well,
horse.
I don't think you
nice.
got to get crazy.
No.
Go out there and
Do Craig Johnson. Boop-a-doop-a-doo.
no, but I mean, plus half every maneuver in that. Stay out of the penalty box.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go show my horse.
Yeah.
Just gonna go show.
Yeah,
my
but
horse.
no, you gotta. I agree with you, Cole. I mean,
I
I
would
think you go
rather-
try and
I
put up the
rather-
number first go around, and I agree with that.
I'd rather come off that first go around and go, okay, I can give my horse a day off to
Yep.
relax.
You got
I
you
got
guys
time.
seriously. You're seriously down in that chute before you show going, I'm gonna push it. You're not going, why the heck am I here? Why did I decide up to show this one? You're
No,
not doing
I'm
it?
not. I'm not, and I'm stupid enough to
Do you
walk
get nervous,
down.
Tom?
Not in the chute. The night before, I do.
You do.
I don't sleep great the night before, and once I get on my horse and go over to barn 6, the nerves are gone.
Yeah.
And when I'm down in the chute, then it almost flips another switch into, okay, fuck it, let's go do it.
That's
I am very nervous. I'm nervous the night before. I'm nervous when I'm on my horse. I'm nervous in the makeup pen. It's not really till I walk right in that chute.
were you,
or right in the
would you
gate.
get that nervous like in sports growing up?
No, but I wouldn't. No,
I'm the same.
no.
You're nervous? No way.
I get extremely nervous until I go in that pen.
I don't think I do, but I've always been good about channeling you're the same way. You channel it to
And focus and getting
Yeah.
flow state
No,
before you go.
I know that I'm nervous getting ready the day of, so everything goes. I slow myself down doing everything. I mean, putting socks on, I slow myself down. I mean, largely because my back hurts and it's difficult. But I
And it's
actually,
hard to get around. Oh, wait a minute. Sorry, never mind. It's because your back hurts.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to find some physical flaws in you guys, and I'm going to
Don't
bring
worry.
them up on the show
worry.
every time.
It ain't hard. It's pretty obvious.
No, I'm just a nicer person, and I don't like to dig on your flaws.
Hey,
every
I'm
day.
with you again. Once I get my socks on, everything's easy from there. Rest of the day's easy.
I like to walk to the barn slower. I like to saddle the horse slower. I like to walk it around slower.
I'm not like that, but if I draw late in the day,
That
the
day
day's
sucks.
miserable.
Yeah.
The day's fucking terrible because I can't even get a cheeseburger for lunch because it's got to get a plain piece of white bread.
It's gonna turn to mush real quick.
Yeah, it's got to be like it's awful. Like I don't like to draw early, but I kind of would rather draw. Or I don't like to draw early because of what we perceive as sometimes you can get marked a little bit more later in the day.
Right.
But
but you can't control that. You
If
you
it-
can't control your draw.
all things
So
being
quit worrying
equal,
about that. Yeah.
all things being equal, I would rather draw early.
On,
Yeah,
on
get it
my
over with.
on my wall of the horse that makes me the most nervous, I'm like the 12th or 13th horse in the pen the third day, and I'm thankful for it.
Yeah.
Because I know what I need to do. I just do my job that day, and it takes care of itself, and it's done.
And by the third day, they got a scale.
Yeah.
I don't love being
I agree
early the
with that.
first day.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Early the first day is rough because they're judging 400 horses, and they're trying to find themselves.
And it wasn't maybe last year or the year before, I can't remember, where maybe 2 horses made the finals out of the first day.
Derby.
Was it the Derby
Yeah.
this year?
I was the first 10 horses in each day.
Well, notoriously, for the open guys, 5% of the finalists came out of the first day, historically. Like a very small number. It might not be 5%, but and whether it's because of the judging or because you have another day or 2 or 3 of prep, who knows? But
Do you think people show harder once they kind of are hearing what the bubble is?
Yes.
Yeah,
I think people
so.
I think people get more comfortable knowing what the
they
bubble
gotta
is.
mark.
Yeah.
And you have to commit. You got to go this way or that way. I got to go show my horse hard. You guys call it hard. I gonna go show my horse.
Yeah.
Yeah. Me personally, I don't have a horse the first day, and I kind of like it because I go there thinking everybody's going to be ready. I mean, when somebody puts everybody's putting their all their pictures of their horses and their draws on Facebook, and oh man, they must be confident. I mean, we put our draws, but not pictures of all the horses and stuff, do we?
Your son went through each one of
I
them.
was going to say.
Okay, well,
Well, he's probably confident.
Yeah, he actually did a little
Makes-
video. He did a
we've
video
changed.
clip with a blurb about the horse. Yeah.
okay, well,
Yeah,
It
you,
makes
had
us
it.
feel
You
good
did
now.
a
Now we
video
know he's
saying how
nervous.
excited you were about your draw.
I did.
Yeah.
Well, at any rate, I like seeing the first day and not showing, and seeing that 3/4 of them suck, and that gives me confidence. Is that bad? Is that
No,
bad?
not at all.
I mean, three-quarters
Yeah, but
of them, and then I
suck.
It's not because they suck. It's because he's not going to feel so bad about himself if he sucks that bad. He's like, well, they all
Yeah,
suck too.
right. And they put their stuff online.
Yeah, they put pictures on Facebook.
I'm one of you.
no. For some reason, other people sucking gives me confidence.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's like, I mean, am I the only one?
Yeah.
I mean, if everybody's out there going, man, 21, 23, 21, 23, 22, 23, like, fuck. But if, it doesn't ever work like that. You think it's going to work like that. When you watch the practice pen the night before, you think it's going to work like that. When you see the video that everybody puts on Facebook, that is a +1 stop, but you don't know it's the 30th
I was
one
going
they
to say, it took 50
Yeah.
times to get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Love that.
then when you get there and you sit through the first day and then to me, it just brings me down a notch, and then, okay. We're back. Let's just go do what we do and not worry about it.
And just show your horse.
Yeah.
I try to make a point to not watch anybody at the horse, like watch them in the night, because it's so easy to see. And I used to be really bad at this. Like you'd watch Andrea, and Andrea's doing Andrea stuff, and you go, "I think I should try that." And that's not the time to try stuff.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
Especially trying to do what Andrea can do. Like
Yeah.
I just think for me, I have a plan, and usually I write out like little notes on each horse just so I can go, okay, this horse needs this. Don't do this. Don't. And I just watch my stuff, and I try to not watch him because man, it's so easy to go, wow, look at the way he did that. And that thing just stopped 1.5. I'm gonna do that.
Yeah.
It's like, well, yeah.
I try to prepare my horses and address it like my life is not going to change if I win that horse show or if I lose that horse show. Life's not going to change. I'm there to do my job. Just do my job.
And then when it doesn't go good, he throws his shit, says he's going to quit.
well,
like we all do.
first, I put my foot through my vet box.
Yeah, that's right.
You
that's
gotta-
allowed. That's totally allowed.
You gotta, if you don't know, you have to have a plastic roll-up vet box so you can put your foot through it and just go to Lowe's and buy another one.
But let's be honest, it's either gonna work or it's not.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, you have just as much.
Oh, don't you worry. My foot goes through the vet box real easy. That's why I buy a plastic. It works. Makes you feel better, too. Doesn't hurt your foot. Oh, you were talking about the horses.
I just think you could overthink it so bad, and it's either gonna work or it's not.
Yes.
I mean, and you know what?
Try not to get yourself in trouble by overthinking it.
It's either gonna work or it's not gonna. And I know for sure that if you don't go for it, it's not gonna work.
Yeah.
You know, Michael, yeah, but Michael Jordan, you hear it, and there's so much
Yeah.
brilliance to it. Michael Jordan missed every shot he didn't take. I mean, it
Yeah.
ain't gonna work if you don't go for it. And you
Yeah,
know,
but-
if it doesn't work,
Yeah, but
And-
oh well.
we also have people.
We've all made it this far with it not working.
Yeah, but we also have people that are there with us watching, whether it be peers, significant others, that are, when it's not working, when we think it's not working, they say, "You're fine. Relax." We have people in our corner that help us get it through.
You have to.
So, which is a confidence builder. So
Yeah, my wife's a real confidence builder.
I wasn't talking about her. I was talking about me. I just tell you how
You
good
have
it
a
looks
good
all
group
the
of
time.
people around you.
No, I was telling when he asked me, "Hey, is that fast enough?" Yep.
You've been really good. You've been really good at being that for me.
I do it for a lot of
on golden
And
times,
honestly-
times where it wasn't working. Gunner was the first person to say, "Hey, it's gonna happen.
I pay
stay
attention.
at it." I know you
I
do.
pay
And
attention
I
to what
tell you,
other people
you need people like that because man, this.
No, could you see someone having trouble and then you just go, no, it's all right.
The
man."
thing is, you can self-destruct so fast in this, and you start overthinking something so simple, or you start changing your program because of a turd.
Yeah.
Right? How many times you go, man, this horse is kicking out or whatever, so now you're going to change your whole lead change program. It's like, no, the horse just wasn't very good.
Yeah.
But you need honest people to say, it's going to be okay. You can do it.
And honestly, you need people sometimes. If you can stay out of the penalty box and you quarter yourself all the way through, it's going to be an 18 or a 19.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, horse showing the night before in the practice pen, a quarter very often is a half the next day while you're showing.
Absolutely.
Well, I think one thing in judges' schools, they tell you, like, use it. Benefit goes to the rider. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not a zero.
Especially the way you ride, the way that I ride, it's forward. It's a positive image with your hand forward.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff here that says, look, it's pleasant.
No,
So-
authority of maneuver. And
Yeah.
like Kay was talking about that the other day to Desiree, I think, about look ahead. Don't keep looking down at the problem, you know. Just show. Look up and show. Fake it. You know, fake your way through there.
I was telling Giada Caparzi brought 3 3-year-olds over to the place because she moved facilities and doesn't have a covered indoor. So she asked if she could bring her 3-year-olds. And she's riding it around and she says, "Guys, it doesn't feel good." I said, them guys don't know what it feels like. But when you're looking down and your hand is right here, it don't look good either. If you look up and shove your hand forward and go, "Yes, I got you," it looks good. Portray a positive image.
Yeah. Yeah, don't tell me
not
what's
tomorrow.
going on.
Yeah.
So Ed Cridge said this, not to make your head any bigger, Mandy, but Ed told me this about Mandy, and he said that even if something's not working for Mandy, she makes it look like that was the best that horse could do. Like you never give it away in your body, and that's so hard not to do. And a lot of times you don't even know that you go, man, she looked pretty confident at it. I'm gonna use it. And I think a lot of times we give things away way more than we need to.
Yeah.
No, you can be leaning into your outside stirrup and doing this and still get a plus half slowing down, even though the thing fell out of lead 10 times.
Yeah,
You know.
10 times.
What about, so we talked about a few open horses. What about any non-pro horses that caught your radar this year? You guys pay attention to any of those? Oh, okay, now spot. Tom's like, I don't even know what my horse's names are.
Well, that's a fair point. I did ask Mandy which one she was showing today.
Yeah.
Who won,
No.
who won the non-pro Futurity in Tulsa?
Crickets? Was it you?
Yeah, it was Mandy.
Was it on the gray horse on Charlotte? No.
No, on Elvin.
She's won 2 on 2 different horses. Yeah.
And then you went on Charlotte, right? I thought she
No.
won something on Charlotte.
On the Palomino mare.
Oh, Palomino Mare
So
was last.
Mandy has a couple nice horses. The one you showed at the one she won at the Congress on looked phenomenal. And then I judged a horse show in North Carolina. Indy Roper won the non-pro Futurity there, and on a little bay horse, it looked phenomenal. It looked special. And Jill Brown has a big, pretty buckskin mare that looks nice. She's won $30,000 on it now. I can't remember a
Jack
whole lot.
Meadows is Isn't She Perfect? He's got an Iceman out of her. That looks like a real nice horse. He hasn't got him shown yet, but he will.
But he will.
Yeah, he's a.
Lane has a really good one. Gunner Special Night. Yeah.
I don't think you can ever count Gina out.
No.
I don't even know what Gina's showing, but you know she's coming there.
I don't
broke.
think she's done a lot with her 3-year-olds this year, but that's, I mean, that's exactly right. You put the combination of Dwayne and Gina together and
Yeah.
something good could happen.
Yeah.
And they have to be good. They have to be pretty good once and then just hit it with one go around in the finals. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything can happen. But the non-pro, to me, Open's always been, 20 years ago, there was 5 guys that were really good at it. Now there's 50. But the non-pro, 10 years ago, there was 2 or 3 that could just out horse show everybody. That doesn't happen anymore. Now there's a whole slew of them.
And there's a whole slew of open horses showing in the non-pro.
non-pro.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a whole slew of them.
Yeah.
Correct.
That's where it's getting tough.
I don't know why, and this is, you're going to say, yeah, we say that every year. I've seen some of the nicest futurity horses I've ever seen in my whole life this year. I think it's going to be stout. I think Mirko's horse is unbelievable. I think Fernando's horse is unbelievable. I think Cade's horse is unbelievable.
Yeah, we say that every year.
I think my horse is very good. I think he's so much fun. I'm so excited, but whenever you see what else is out there, you go, wow. I can't believe
there's very likely to
3-year-olds
be a
can do
horse that
that.
we haven't seen yet. You know what I mean? That wouldn't surprise me.
Or one that's made some mistakes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just kind of overlooked and
I can't remember the girl's name that works for Dutch that showed at the Congress.
the vintage smoke.
The little black vintage smoke. She showed the hide off of that thing.
I tried to buy the horse and hire the girl.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Yeah, but
Yeah. No, and it's like, to me, it does. It's always similar. I think over the course of 5 years at a time, maybe 3 years at a time, it gets better.
it
It
levels up.
steps up.
Yeah.
But it's always the same. Go show your horse. Get him shown twice. You don't have to be unbelievable in the go-around and the semifinals to make the finals. You just have to be good.
And out of the penalty box.
Yeah.
Stay out of the penalty.
Don't beat yourself.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing. Don't beat yourself.
Yeah.
Especially when you go back and watch it, you go, it was good enough. Like,
Yeah.
I just had to stay out of the penalty box.
Yeah. No doubt.
Well, I remember last year, so many people introducing themselves at the futurity. So many people I didn't know. So many people that didn't know me say, grow the show and talk to me about the show. I hope it happens again this year. I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be my favorite part of going to the horse show is talking to new people that say, grow the show.
Yeah.
You'll
Without
see.
a doubt.
You'll
It's-
see what it's like now that you've been on it a couple times.
Yeah, no, it's fun. And people that are not even in the reining horse industry have come up to us. And somebody said it at lunch the other day.
Yeah.
At a restaurant, somebody I did not even recognize from our industry walked up and, hey, grow the show. So it's fun. But
The fun thing about listening to it is it's not so proper where it gets boring. It's actually personal and fun and kind of go off about this. And
We try to keep it organic. Like
Yeah,
it's
it's
just
fun.
a conversation.
Just like-
now.
Well, and then John, one of our viewers, one of our friends, brought like 11 quarts of Handel's chocolate chip ice cream. So shout out to John.
Oh, yeah, John.
was
Do you know why, John?
wait, where is that at?
It's right in that.
it's right in here.
Hey, do
We
you
got
know?
plenty, don't worry.
Hey, I can justify it for him. Do you know why he brought 11 quarts? Because if you buy 10, you got one free.
That's right. That's right.
I mean, that's easy math. I mean, that's free money.
That's your making
That's free money.
You're making money.
All right. Well, thanks, everybody, and good luck at the fraternity.
Good luck, everybody.
Grow the show.
Grow the show.